Thanks for coming down and talking to us. First time I've ever had one of these, so I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to go. But two-part question.
Sure.
Being in my mid-30s with two children at home, two full-time working parents, it's tough to really survive and try and get ahead and for savings and stuff. So when I'm out, we're in this small group here talking to you now, and we're going to share the word with other people when elections are coming up. And I know a lot of people are wondering just about good opportunities for jobs, for employment coming in. It's one thing to get a job, behind a counter or stocking shelves or something, but when you're trying to support your kids and you're thinking about good benefits and you're thinking about retirement or 401k, things like that with competitive wage. Just seeing if you had anything coming in, any ideas on bringing some of the larger companies in, but not catering to their every need, but still something that'll benefit us here. And then on a smaller note, anytime I see on the news or in the paper about one issue that just it irks me, is when people take advantage of assistance, and it's just so obvious how they take advantage of it. And I work so hard, go to every day working at the shipyard and down to ED, and come home to support my family. And some people, I know some couples that don't work at all, and they live on assistance, and they make more money than my wife and I do, and we both have pretty good jobs. And it just gets me. Is there any initiative on the, if you're able to work, you should be working kind of thing that you hear in the federal level, but for our state?
Sure, absolutely. Well, on your issue about the economy, again, I had to laugh when the governor during our last debate at URI said, "Oh, if I get in, I'm going to destroy jobs and set the economy back." That's ridiculous. I just have a different philosophy. I don't subscribe to what she's doing, giving millions away of our hard-earned tax dollars just to attract a few companies. When you take a look at the investments that we provide, and that's not to say that I don't support judicious use of tax incentives, because there's different ways that you can do it. But when she's sitting there patting her resume with GE, Johnson & Johnson's, take a look at how many jobs it actually brought in and the dollars that we had to give for them. 100 jobs here, 75 jobs here, 6 million there, 5.5 million there. Translate 80,000 per job in one instance, 55,000 per job in another one. What are we getting for that? And where's the accountability? Because we've given a lot of these big companies all of these tax breaks, but forgotten many of the businesses that are already here. The 90% of our economy in Rhode Island is small business. That's why I'm proud of how we've helped a lot of the Cranston businesses, and it's shown that it can be done. We've used tax incentives, but more on a graduated type basis, not in giving them the dollars for the jobs, but phasing in taxes over time, because we're not getting it now on a development. Maybe graduate 0 first year, 10, 20, 30, and just gradually getting the tax base built back in. Those type of incentives I will support and help out a lot of the businesses out of state. Where I'd rather see the boost to our local businesses and economy, having a sound discussion about cutting our sales tax. Right now we're seeing at that high 7%, many of our Rhode Island license plates over in Massachusetts or even in Connecticut. I want to drop it from 7% down to 5%. But do it in a responsible way. 0.5% a year each year that I'm in office, so that as we're dropping that percentage, we're going to obviously lose some revenue. We'll increase some, keep some of those dollars here, but we have to make corresponding cuts in those programs. One of the cuts that I want to do is really shake up that Commerce RI. I'm sick and tired of the governor going out saying, "Oh, that Rebuild RI credit." Well, I saw in Providence Business News, she's given over $100 million in that Rebuild RI credits for apartment complex builds or whatever type of construction that tends to be short-term jobs with no lasting impact. We've got to be smarter with how we use our dollars. I'd rather invest those dollars into a sound tax cut, cutting our sales tax, also cutting fees. Many of the fees that small businesses pay, many of the fees that we even pay as professionals, I want to take a different dynamic and cut our fees so that we're the lowest in New England. Send a different message. And lastly, just like what I've done in Cranston, cut a lot of the regulation and red tape so that business owners, especially small business owners, or a lot of our students that are coming out of our colleges and universities, can start a business. Help them through what we have in Cranston called the concierge program. Start that type of program so that they can figure out this crazy maze of bureaucracy that we have at the local level and at the state level, and even help them try to get some type of funding to get their business up. And if they can get their business up, waive the fees and taxes for that first year. Send a message to these kids that we want them as entrepreneurs, and if they can grow into the next Alex and Ani, good for them, because that means more jobs here. I'm sorry, I forget the second part of your question.
I was just talking about the abuses on a lot of the
Oh,
things
yes.
we spend money on.
Yeah, and I think we left some palm cards there in the back, but one of the platforms on those abuses, outside of just the Inspector General, which can root through a lot of them, I want stronger work requirements for able-bodied people that are on welfare assistance. Now, if you're able-bodied, you should be giving back, whether it's through working or even community service. And you know what was surprising that I found out? We already have that in place, but it's not strictly enforced. In fact, when I say make it stronger, looking for a job counts. But looking for a job, I know what happens because I'm in the, I grew up in the inner city. They'll make a phone call, say, to Joe Smith's restaurant. Oh, do you have any jobs? Nope. Click. Oh, do you have a job? Oh, okay. Will you pay this? Nope. Oh, click. That counts. That shouldn't count. You should be giving back to your community. There's so much need in all of our backyards that, if we're going to have help, and this is what I'm being also sympathetic too, because we do have a lot of needs in all of our backyards, but those dollars really should go where it needs to. But if you're able-bodied, you should be giving back in a different way. If you're not working, you should give back to community, whether it's even something as simple as cleaning up graffiti that you see in our neighborhoods and backyards, helping kids, mentoring. I'd rather take that and make sure that we have these type of stricter programs so that the dollars go where the needs really are.